That'd be amazing. I'm sure Gift of the Givers will be far more efficient at distributing those funds and where they're most needed than the government will. We cut out the middleman completely. We avoid corruption. There's a tip for government.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Joe Emilio Show. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Some of you may have heard about Advocate Sabelo, who is fighting at the moment to get an extension for the public to comment on the amendments to the Health Act. Sabelo believes that we were supposed to get 90 days or up to 90 days in order to comment. He is going to be at the High Court in the Western Cape on the 26th of April to state his case. And for those of you who may not know, the state of disaster has been re-implemented. Here to chat with me about all that and a lot more is Rob Hutchinson from DRSA. Hey Rob, good to have you back with me as always. So I'm sure you've heard about Advocate Sabelo, and I think what Advocate Sabelo is doing is amazing. I hope that he can get an extension to the comments for the amendments to the Health Act. I just wanted to get your take on this. I mean, is this something that you're for? Do you support Sabelo in his fight? And what's your comments on hopefully getting a 30 to 90 days extension on the public comments for the Health Act?
Personally, I definitely do. I think it's an incredibly important piece of legislation and incredibly important regulations as well. So the public certainly hasn't had enough time to understand this, to contemplate it, and we've actually seen evidence of that. The public participation has been, although excellent, still lower than expected on such an important issue, and a lot of people are not even aware that the regulations are now being permanent underneath the Health Act. So 90 days would be absolutely brilliant. However, according to the law and the sections in the Health Act, the minister can take a shorter period than 90 days, depending on exceptional circumstances. And my personal feeling is that that might be an issue in court where the minister relies on Section C instead of Section A. Section C states that you can use any period that you want. And remember, these are regulations. So we're actually lucky that they went out for public comment in the first place. But as the notice, which was signed by the minister and published in the Gazette, clearly stated and cited Section A, which claims 90 days, then I think they have a case which will have to be determined by the court.
Fantastic. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about Sabelo, he is going to the High Court in Cape Town on the 26th of April. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're available on Wednesday, the day before public holiday, and the day before the Cape Independence March, just FYI, do go and support Sabelo in his fight to hopefully get a longer extension for us to comment. And with that being said, Rob, Monday, yesterday, at the time of recording, this was yesterday, Cyril put us back in a state of disaster, this time for the KZN floods. So I have a very important question to ask you. Does this now state of disaster that's been implemented for the floods, what does this say about the previous regulations that we had in the previous state of disaster?
Okay, so a state of disaster can be declared on the Disaster Management Act, and for 21 days initially, and then extended by an additional 30 days. Oh no, sorry, initial 3 months, and then only by 30 days upon review or advice, 30 days at a time. So as President Ramaphosa did withdraw the original state of disaster, which was declared because of the pandemic and the possibilities that could happen under that, the regulations that were formulated under that state of disaster no longer apply. So there's no need to worry about them suddenly creeping back in. The minister will more than likely have to draft new regulations which are applicable to the current disaster, which is the flood in KZN. The question goes around why declare a national state of disaster for a provincial issue? Well, there are, I'm sure he has reasons behind that as well. So, although it is quite unusual for that to happen, so no need to worry about the regulations. They definitely no longer applicable, and that's mainly why they move them under the Health Act so that they can stay as permanent.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why, again, it's so important for people to comment, because that's exactly what they want to do. They want to take the regulations that were part of the pandemic lockdown and move it into the Health Act. You know, now that they have to rewrite regulations for the flood, it makes me wonder, are we going to see banned snorkels and banned fins and banned swimsuits? Um, banned, they'll probably ban chicken again just for the sake of it. I don't know. Maybe they'll ban dolphins too. I
Exactly.
don't know. Who knows?
Or, or ban, yeah, or ban ice creams on the beach in anything but a cone.
Or
You
ban.
never, you really never know. As long as they ban speedos, I'm okay with that. That's
Ooh,
fine.
that's actually a good point. I would be okay with that too. I think a lot of people would. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Look, there's a whole lot of speculation as to why it went national. Cyril seems to think that the disaster, which it is. I mean, the floods are horrible that are happening now in KZN, or that happened in KZN, are terrible. 4,000 homes and infrastructure have been destroyed. Over 400 lives have been claimed. It's a really, really terrible thing that's happened over there, and they do need help, absolutely. But I just don't trust the ANC. You know, last time we had funds for a disaster, they disappeared. So
Exactly.
excuse my skepticism with this regard, but
Exactly.
go support Gift of the Givers. They do excellent work in these kinds of situations. They're already doing work for people in KZN, so go support them. I'll leave a link to their website in the description.
Or wouldn't Joe wouldn't be a fantastic initiative by government. Instead of government handing out, it's R1 billion that they've put aside for disaster relief for the floods. How about giving Gift of the Givers that R1 billion?
Ooh,
Then
we've
government
started
doesn't have to
something
hand
now.
it out. That'd be amazing. I'm sure Gift of the Givers will be far more efficient at distributing those funds and where they're most needed than the government will. We cut out the middleman completely. We avoid corruption. There's a tip for government. Cut yourselves out. Give it to the proven and reliable distributors of relief funds, Gift of the Givers.
I'm going to
Oh,
clip that
that
part out, and I'm going to tag Gift of the Givers on every social media.
awesome.
And I want them to go and ask the ANC, hey, give us the billion. We'll distribute it. We know where it needs to go. And I mean, it's good PR for everyone, right? Like,
Yeah.
ANC gives a billion to Gift of the Givers. That's good PR. So they win out of it. We're giving them too much ideas, Rob. We're
We
supposed
could
to
even,
be.
yeah. Actually, we could run a participation campaign, get people to select. Do you think government should handle the distribution of R1 billion in relief funds, or should Gift of the Givers do it? Let the public decide. Let's
Yeah,
use democracy. Nice. I
absolutely.
think I'm going to do that.
Oh boy. Yeah, but we're trying not to help really the ANC. But then again, they have the money. I don't know.
This is
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching once again. Rob, thank you once again for coming onto the show and giving your insightful comments and clarifying some of the stuff that's going on at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the 24th of April is the final day to comment, or comments close on the 24th of April. So please share this video far and wide, and go to the link in the description and have your say. Rob, thanks again.
excellent. Thank you, Joe. Always a pleasure.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think is the reason for Cyril Ramaphosa initiating or starting a national state of disaster once again? What do you think the ANC is going to ban this time? And don't forget to please support Advocate Sabelo in his fight on the 26th of April, 2022. Please, once again, share this video far and wide. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.